Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Been kind of hitting it hard today on getting some stuff done around here on the homestead. Thought I'd take a little bit of a walk through the woods and talk to you. Sitting down here by the creek. This is one of my favorite spots on the property. It's very quiet and kind of out of the way. You feel like you're just a million miles from anyone right here. Really nice spot. But anyways, a lot of stuff happening, and none of it's really good. You know, when we see what's going on in the news, we've got this whole China, Taiwan, U.S. thing. It's heating up. China finished their little 3-day training drill exercise on how they would blockade and attack Taiwan. A lot of people think that it's probably coming pretty soon. Pentagon's reporting that the relationship between the U.S. and China is probably the worst it's ever been. They're not returning any of our phone calls, apparently. And the U.S. dollar just continues to lose its prominence. Approximately 7% now has been a 7% drop in international trade in using U.S. dollars. And Bank of America says that the second quarter GDP numbers will probably be negative, which means 2 straight quarters of that. A lot of things happening, and again, I've talked about it several times. It's overwhelming, right? And we just sit here, we don't know what to do, but I'm telling you what to do. I've been telling you what to do for a while. You need to get ready. You need to get things prepared. I was talking earlier this morning with a neighbor, and he was saying that we were talking about various things, mostly about working on trucks, but we got to talking about what's happening, and he said he and his wife have a deal agreement that anytime they go to the grocery store now, anytime they go to Walmart, anytime they buy anything on Amazon, anything like that, they absolutely have to order and purchase some kind of food prep item. He said, that's just what we do. He said, and they're, retired, older. He said, I may not live long enough to eat all of it. He says, but I figure I'm putting it back for my kids and grandkids. He said, and who knows, that stuff will be worth probably gold at some point. He said, I think we're going to see some horribly hard times. And this guy is coming as a very pro-Trump kind of guy, very pro-Trump. And he said, I don't even think that if Trump could get elected again, that it would do much good at this point. He said so much damage has been done. We're so far down that path. He said, and so much is going to happen between now and the next election anyways. He said, it's going to be devastating. And I said, I agree. And I think more and more people are realizing that we're not talking about something that in 6 months from now, things are going to be back to normal. We're talking about hitting rock bottom. I mean, a lot of devastation could happen, to the point that it could absolutely, in certain places around the world, really start looking like one of these apocalyptic movies where, you're really fighting for your existence to survive and to live. At the very least, things are going to be horribly expensive. Things are going to be chaotic. And there's going to be a lot of loss. People are gonna take some major hits, I would say. Now, I know that there's going to be some people that are saying, oh, here he goes with this fear-mongering thing. Doomsday, fear-mongering. Yeah, you can call it what you want, but I'm telling you, folks, the handwriting's kind of on the wall right now of all the stuff that's happening. And it's time to take things serious. I mean, if you haven't been taking things serious for a while or ever, when it comes to this, maybe you're the kind of more of the hobbyist prepper, and you're just, keeping up to date on things going on. Or maybe you're the kind of prepper that thinks that this is all going to turn around, that this is just another transitory, V-shaped recovery, and eventually, in a few months, things will be back to normal and be good again. I was talking to a friend yesterday. Right now, what you're living in, what you're seeing, what's happening, is probably the best times that you're going to see for a long time. I could be completely wrong. I hope that I am, but I have a feeling that I'm not. That what you're living in right now, economically, socially, politically, safety-wise, everything, is probably the best you're going to see it for quite a while. And so you better take advantage of the moment and remember these times, because we may be looking back on these times and say, man, do you remember what it was like then? Wow, it was so much better than it is now. It's time to toughen up. Be strong. I mean, you don't have to be physically strong. That is helpful. A nice little tick crawling up my arm here. It's good to be physically strong if you can, but the real strength is in the mental and the spiritual strength. You need to be getting that ready, and you need to be understanding what it is that we may face, what you may endure and go through. Because if we continue going down the path that we're going on, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good at all. And those that are not prepared, and that mental preparedness, that have not geared themselves up and girded their armor and ready to endure hardships and pain and chaos, just may not survive it. They just may not. They may have to bow down and give in to the overlords, or they just may not make it because they perish. These are some realities that we have to understand. They may not be that bad. It's possible. But the way things are happening, there is a reality there. There is a possibility there that we could see that level of chaotic times. And so you've got to, you have to really wrap your head around that. Prepare yourself for that. Understand that all the things that you're used to in your life right now, may not have it. May not have it for a while. The stability that we have in our world, the stability that exists in our society, even though it's becoming a very unstable society, with the stability that still exists, may not be there for a while. Are you ready for that? Is your family ready for that? Are you ready to see your family have to endure that? That's going to mess some people up. Some of you have gone off to war and you've seen really horrible times, but you didn't have to see those horrible times or see your family live through those horrible times. You may have seen your fellow brother that you're fighting with go through those horrible times, but you haven't watched your little girl or your wife go through those horrible times. You may see that, and you need to get ready for that. And you need to have a plan to make it through that somehow, some way. We have to endure. We have to make it through these times. If we don't, I don't know what I don't know what to tell you. It's just not an option. Failure is not an option. Losing is not an option. Giving up is not an option. These are just not options. You have to tell yourself that. No matter what you go through, no matter what you face, you're not giving up. You're going to keep pushing through. You're going to, not stop. Keep fighting the fight. That's the kind of mentality that we need, because that's what we're going to have to probably do to make it at times. The world is rapidly changing. France's President Macron, or whatever he said, and along with him saying that Europe needs to de-dollarize, he was also really pushing this global new world order of everyone being under one global entity. And he's probably referring to China being the head of that. And that stuff's happening. The AI is just taking over. I saw a number the other day. I don't know how true it is, but someone estimated that in the next 2 to 3 years that artificial intelligence could be an $8 trillion industry, and that it could just kind of take over everything. I was reading another article this morning that was talking about elections and how if AI is used, we may never know what really goes on with elections. There's all kinds of stuff happening. Stuff they're putting in our food, or they're wanting to put in our food, changing our children, stealing away their innocence. It's pretty awful. And it's all happening at once. And it's for a purpose. It's for a purpose because this has been the plan for a long, long time. And we are just the unfortunate or lucky ones, depending on how you look at it, to be living in the time of all this happening. And the system, the beast, the machine has already been set into motion. And I think things are being fulfilled all around us. And we just have to prepare and get ready for that. We have to get our hearts ready for that. We need to be doing much more praying and reading the Bible. We need to be fasting and spending some real hardcore time, kind of like grabbing on to that fleece and said, I'm not letting go until you bless me, that kind of thing. That's what we need to be doing, because we're all probably going to witness some pretty crazy times. And it may not be that far away. Still could be years, but I don't think it will be. I think we're going to start seeing some drastic increase in maybe just weeks or months away. Could be wrong, and I hope that I am, but the way things are lining up, it's quite possible. So folks, just keep pushing yourself hard. Harder than you've ever pushed yourself to prepare, to stock up, to stack it to the rafters. But also push yourself harder than you've ever pushed yourself before when it comes to mentally getting yourself ready, and most especially spiritually. Because that's the biggest attacks we're going to face. All this stuff that's going around in the world, all this evilness, all this chaos and this corruption, it's just physical manifestations of what's going on in the spiritual world. The warfare that's being done. It's like the armies are being formed, and the rattling their chain mail and the beating the war drums. They're getting ready. I don't know. I mean, it's what I would assume is happening. And we have to get ready also. So don't give up, and don't slow down, and don't think that, maybe a day or so goes by and it seems pretty calm, that you can kind of let off your guard. That's what they want you to think. They want you to let your guard down. And don't do that. Keep stacking and keep preparing and keep doing everything you needed to be doing to getting ready, getting your houses in order, and preparing mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.